Breaking news at the Bernabéu has a way of turning quiet summer afternoons into feverish speculation. And the latest story concerns one very familiar name from the club's youth ranks, Raúl Asencio. Once celebrated as a promising centre-back who rose through Madrid's system and even earned spells with the first team, Asencio now finds himself on the brink of something far less romantic. A potential exit marked with a headline price. Reports this week indicate that the club would consider a transfer for the youngster at €35 million. A figure that has immediately set rival scouts talking and divided opinion among Madrid supporters. To understand how we've reached this moment, you have to rewind only a season or two. Under Carlo Ancelotti, Asencio's calm presence, length and ball-playing ability saw him called up from Castilla and trusted in senior minutes that many academy graduates never get. That pathway is real. The club has made decisions this summer to register promising youngsters with first-team squads and reward them with opportunities. And Asencio's official registration and pathway into the senior setup are a part of that strategic push. But football is ruthless and managers change. Where once one coach's faith opens doors, another's tactics and personnel choices can slam them shut. Enter Xabi Alonso, a coach with a distinct blueprint and a defensive core that currently looks deep on paper. New structures, new priorities, and the arrival of established defenders have shifted the pecking order. Dean Huijsen's emergence, the return to fitness of Eder Militao, and Antonio Rudiger's continued presence mean minutes are scarce for fringe defenders. Tactical choices, whether to use 3 at the back or a more compact 2, will decide who keeps a jersey and who watches from the stands. And right now, Asencio is not the automatic pick he once was. That tactical squeeze explains why Madrid's sporting directors are now weighing the market value of their own academy product. The €35 million figure being reported is not just arithmetic. It sends a message. The club sees genuine market interest and prefers to monetize a player who may struggle for minutes rather than let him stagnate on the bench. Clubs in England and Italy have been linked with inquiries. Teams that would value a young centre-back with top-tier training and Champions League environment experience. And Madrid's stance appears firm. That price kicks off negotiations. Not lowball approaches. Public perception is also part of the puzzle. Asencio's flashes of potential have been complemented by some costly errors in high-pressure games. A few moments in the Club World Cup and other fixtures left supporters and pundits questioning whether he's ready to carry consistent responsibility at the top level. That criticism matters when a new coach is deciding what to trust week after week. Form and confidence travel together. And mistakes under bright lights can accelerate the tilt toward a sale or at least a loan that will test a player's resilience elsewhere. So where does this leave Asencio? There are 3 realistic scenarios. First, he stays and fights. The classic route where a player digs into training, corrects his weaknesses, and wins minutes through rotation and injuries. That path is plausible. Depth is needed over a long campaign. But it requires patience and demonstrable improvement in training and when opportunities arrive. Second, a loan move to a mid-level European side could provide the most sensible bridge. Regular minutes, less pressure, and the chance to rebuild market value and confidence. Third, a permanent transfer for a fee around Madrid's valuation would give the club cash for reinvestment and the player a fresh start. A clean slate that could be either liberating or career-defining depending on the landing spot. Each option has real consequences for both player and club. An academy sale always feels like a gamble on principle and pragmatism. What this episode reveals about Real Madrid is not simply the fate of one teenage defender, but the brutal clarity of elite football economics. Homegrown storylines are precious, but not sacrosanct. When a squad is reshaped by a new coach and the balance between proven stars and hopeful youngsters tips, clubs must choose between waiting for a miracle or converting potential into reinforcements for now. For Asencio himself, the pressure is obvious. Perform and convince Alonso, or accept that a move away might be the fastest route back to meaningful minutes and national relevance. Tonight, the Bernabéu debates whether this is a sale of short-term convenience or a tragic misstep in player development. For fans who saw Asencio take his first steps toward the spotlight, the idea of him leaving for €35 million feels like a cut. For pragmatists in the sporting office, it might look like sensible business. Either way, Keep an eye on training reports, squad sheets, and the transfer rumour mill, because in this window, one decision could transform a homegrown dream into a headline and change the trajectory of both player and club.